Often when we're around the greens, it's very rare that we have a flat lie. So today's video, I'm going to show you how simple it is to master chipping from an upslope. Keep watching and find out. Welcome to Shakespeare Short Game Secrets. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Andy Shakespear, PGA Professional, and I'm here at the Warren Estate showing you how to chip from an upslope. If you're new to my channel or you haven't done so already, please remember to hit subscribe and make sure you press the notification bell so you don't miss any of my latest releases. Okay, so chipping from an upslope is going to present a few different challenges compared to chipping from the flat. So let's start with the setup and what we need to change to adapt for that. So as you can see, the slope is pushing my weight back behind the ball. So this is going to present problems that when I create my swing, and if I'm leaning too far back, that I'm going to start bottoming out and hitting the ground early. So what I need to do, I need to adapt to this, and I need to start leaning into the slope and getting my centre of gravity more over the golf ball. So you can now see that my sternum is more in line with the ball. So if I stay in this position and try and hit this shot, I'm either going to swing up the slope and I'm going to create fats, or I'm going to create those shots where I top the ball and we're unsuccessful at the shot. So by leaning with the slope, I'm starting to bring my swing centre more in line with the ball, and it's going to be easier for me to get that low point underneath the golf ball. So now that we've got our centre of gravity more over the ball, this is going to encourage the club to bottom out in the right place underneath the ball. So it's too far back, going to bottom out early, so we're trying to pull that forward so it's over the golf ball. So the advantage of the upslope is that when the club comes in, there's actually going to be less ground in the way. So you can actually see that because of the slopes here, there's a much easier access for the club to come in. So even though I've pulled my weight forward, I shouldn't get too steep on this shot because there's nothing in the way. So essentially I'm creating a level shot even though I'm on an upslope like this. So by pulling my weight forward, you can see my centre of gravity is on the ball. I've got that easy access in there. So if I just create on my normal shot and keep that nice shallowness, I should be able to create a nice chip shot. One thing you might find here though is because you're coming in on this angle where we're trying to create it a bit more level against the slope, that the club might actually dig into the slope a bit more. So when we're usually chipping, we're trying to get that nice brush sensation, but because we've pushed this forwards, the club might start just digging into the back of the ball. So it's something just to be careful of, that the interaction with the turf might feel a bit different, but as long as our contact is good before we get into that turf, we should still hit successful shots. So the other way we can play this shot is to ensure that we lean with the slope and get that centre of gravity over the ball, but that we feel a bit of a higher exit. So you can see I'm still brushing along the slope even though I've pulled my centre of gravity forward over the ball against the slope. So what you might find when you play the shot like this, that the ball is going to exit a lot higher. So I was very happy with that shot. It's come out nice and high and my interaction with the turf was much cleaner. I didn't feel that the club dug so much as it did in the previous shot. So I've just panned out to this wider camera angle now so you can see the whole length of the shot and how I'm going to play it. So the reason I've done this is so you can see the importance of club selection when we're playing this shot. So because we're on this upslope, what this is going to encourage, this is going to start increasing the loft on the club that we're playing the shot with. So I'm actually got my 58-degree lob wedge here. I'm going to play the shot and going to see how high it comes out, how far I need to land the ball, and how quickly the ball's going to stop. So the ball went very high. I had to land it within 2 yards of the flag and it stopped within about 3 yards. So the tariff of that shot's quite difficult, so let's see if I can make it a bit simpler by changing club to my gap wedge. So my gap wedge is my 50-degree wedge. So suddenly I've lost 8 degrees of loft here. So this is just going to offset the slope that I'm standing on, and it should make this ball come out a lot lower. I won't have to land it so far, and the ball's going to run a lot more. So you can see my practice swings that it's a much smaller swing now, and my landing spot's going to be a lot closer to me. So suddenly I've landed the ball a lot closer, the flight was a lot lower, and actually the shot was a lot easier to play. So be mindful of this when you're playing these shots off these upslopes, that you're increasing the loft of the club. So you might have to change what club you use, because essentially you're changing the characteristics of that club and going to make it fly out higher than normal. Like all my short game shots, it's very important to try and keep it as simple as possible. So our key factors here are to ensure that we get our centre of gravity over the golf ball. So when we do that, our sternum's over the ball, the club's more likely to bottom out under the golf ball. So if we lean with the slope, our centre of gravity is over the ball, our contact point should be nicely underneath the ball. Secondly, make sure that we ditch that lob wedge and go for a lesser lofted club. So in my case, I'm using my gap wedge. So gap wedge, centre of gravity over the ball, and ensure that we get a nice smooth stroke. We should be nice and successful at this shot. Thanks for watching this edition of Shakespeare Short Game Secrets. Any questions, please fire them in the comments below. Make sure you hit the thumbs up and like this video, and please subscribe to my channel for further short game tips.